Good morning. Welcome to Convocation 2020 with Sussex County Public Schools. We are thrilled to welcome each and every one of you back to Sussex County Public Schools. This is an exceptional time because not only are we welcoming our employees back, but we're also bringing in new employees. And we are looking forward to a wonderful school year. First, we'd like to start off Convocation by recognizing those retirees from the 2019-2020 school year. The school year ended so abruptly that we were not able to adequately acknowledge all that they've done for the school division. So we would like to take the time to do that right now. The first retiree is Barbara Blunt. Barbara Blunt retired from Sussex County Public Schools with 44 years of service. Next, we have Thelma Hoffman. Ms. Hoffman retired with 13 years of service. Laura Malazzo, she retires with 7 years of service. Maurice Smith, he retires with 26 years of service. And finally, last but not least, Dr. Lisa Winfield, she retires with 33 years of service. Congratulations and thank you for all of your dedicated work and service to Sussex County Public Schools. We would now like to recognize the years of service of current employees. With 5 years of service, we recognize Annette Turner, Sarah Nickel, Katie O'Kinnon, Catrice Reed, Catherine Morris, Eric Danuser, Antonio Whitfield, Angela Hunter, James Clinton, Candace Nerney, Norris Evans, Nora Roletta, Melba Jones. We recognize these 13 employees for 5 years of service. Thank you. 10 years of service. Michael Harris, Rachel Lyons, Patricia Boone, Tammy Pack, James King, Takara Patterson, Julius Hamlin. We recognize these 7 individuals for 10 years of service. 15 years of service. We have one person, Sherry Jarrett. Thank you. 20 years of service. Jacqueline Taylor, Peter Pierce. Thank you. 25 years of service. Tony Williams, Willie Montgomery, Tracy Bevel, Jerry Parham, and Elizabeth Clanton. We recognize those 5 individuals for 25 years of service. Next, we have 40 years of service. Valerie Bailey Holmes, Janice Johnson, Gloria Boone. Those 3 individuals have worked and served the students of Sussex County Public Schools for 40 years. Last, but certainly and definitely not least, we recognize Mrs. Mary Davis with 45 years of loyal service to Sussex County Public Schools. We thank each and every one of you for what you do for our students in this community every day. Our school division is what it is because of what you have done. Thank you so very much.
16, we had a theme. Our theme was leadership, instincts, conflicts, and trying to build a team. And in 2017-18, we talked about the magic in the swamp. And we talked about the magic because the magic was in you. We talked about Sussex being a lowly place down here on Route 40, our school division, and on Route 40, and it is housed in a swamp. But there was magic in the swamp, and there was magic in the swamp. Why? Because you were here, and you are here, and you bring the magic. In 2017, we got all of our schools fully accredited. For the first time, we made history. You helped us to make history in Sussex County, where all of the schools in Sussex County were fully accredited for the first time. And in 18 and 19, we came out, our focus, our theme was continuing the magic. Now that you have success, now that all your schools are fully accredited, now what? Continue the magic, continue to give to students, continue to give your best on a day-to-day basis. And so that's a summary of the 7 years. And last year, our theme was having enough magic to transition to the next level. Having enough magic for the next level. Well, let me give you some information. As we go into 2020, 2021, know that all of our schools are fully accredited. And this is the 4th consecutive year that we've had all of our schools fully accredited. And that credit goes to you as a team. I thank you, we thank you for maintaining a level of excellence here in Sussex. But all of those 8 years that we've just summarized, we were trying to tell you something. The box is on fire. Conflicts, eating from the top of the tree. We were trying to tell you that for 8 years, that a major storm was coming. So for 8 years, we, in one way or another, saying the same thing. A major storm was coming. And so today, we don't want to say that a major storm is coming. Today, we're here to let you know that the major storm is here. The storm is here. But in the midst of the storm, I want you to know there's leadership in a time of storm. There's leadership in a time of storm. And that leadership is in you. But as we get started this morning, I'll make my comments very brief. What is a storm? The storm that I'm speaking of, if we can give some definition, it is our storm is we're in a time of unprecedented and uncommon societal change. Those things that used to be, those things that were normal for us, those things they're changing. We're in a time of realignment of our ordinary norms. All of the things that we know are now being shifted to the left or to the right. However, there is leadership in a time of storm. In a storm and any storm, the effects of the storm sometimes the clouds and the skies darken. There's darkness. And right now, as we look around, our vision is unclear. We don't know sometimes whether to go to the right or whether to go to the left. Those things that were common to us are different. Going to the grocery stores, taking care of our family, taking them to the doctors. All those things are different now. And so our vision, our societal vision is unclear. Navigation has become a challenge for us, and there's limited communication. And we're anxious. Anxiousness has filled the atmosphere everywhere, not just in our nation, but across the world. And so we're in a time of storm, and in the storm, there are elements of a storm. There's rain, in the storm. There's lightning in a storm. There's high winds in a storm. There's thunder in a storm. There's rough waters. But let us not forget that even though there's rain, lightning, high winds, thunders, rough waters, all of these are a part of the storm. They're not the storm itself. And so we can't get fixated on just the rain and forget about the thunder. We can't get fixated on the lightning and forget about the high winds and the rough waters. We can't get fixated on just one thing in the storm. We can't spend our time wrestling with just the rain or wrestling with just the lightning. We have to look at the storm. And let me tell you, COVID-19 is not the storm. COVID-19 is just an element in the storm. It's just a part of the storm. Black Lives Matter is just a part of the storm. It's not the storm. White Lives Matter is a part of the storm. It is not the complete storm. All lives matter. All these things are just parts of the storm. They are elements of the storm. Political propaganda and racial unrest. All those things are in our society. All those things our students are having to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But they're not the completeness of the storm. Our student-centered elements, not the rain and the thunder and the high winds and the rough waters. There are other elements. Our students lack nutrition. They lack a quality meal because of the storm that we're in. It's caused a lot of things to happen, and one of the things that's happened is that our students who would normally get a good meal on a day-to-day basis, 2 meals from us at the school, now they find themselves not having the nutrition. Proper medical help, don't have the health care that they need. The students and families are being displaced. Now students, instead of living mom with dad, now their families are being broken up and they are with Uncle Joe and half of the families in Petersburg and half of the families in Sussex and some are over in Surrey. And their social and emotional needs are not being met. Why? Because they're not here with us. And I say to you that even in the midst of this storm, that there's leadership. There's leadership in the midst of the storm. And you are that leadership. You as faculty and staff and bus drivers and custodians and cafeteria workers and mechanics, car drivers, bus drivers, teachers, admin, you are the leaders in the time of storm. Our students need us now more than ever. And I challenge you, teachers. I know that it's an uncommon time for you as well as I. It's an uncommon time for all of us. Some of us find ourselves teaching from home, in the kitchen. Some of us find ourselves here teaching in the building, but isolated in your classroom. But I challenge you to do your very best for your students, because if ever students needed you, they need you now. As a leader, your actions today control your tomorrow. And I'm just asking that you and I, that we can be our best, be the best you today. Our students need us. They need our love. They need our compassion. And when they come back, or if they're allowed to come back in November, or whenever they come back, they're going to need you to, first of all, look at their social and emotional needs. Before we can teach them the 1, 2, 3s and the ABCs, we first have to let them know that we care. We first have to find out what's going on in their lives. We first have to find out how they are faring through the storm. They need you. So when we start with our virtual learning on September the 8th, it is crucial that you as teachers reconnect and reestablish those lines of communication, those bonds, because our students need to have conversation with you. They need to know that you care. They need to get back into the swing of having you to give them guidance. We know how the storm has affected us as adults. Well, imagine how it has affected them as children. Your actions today control your tomorrow. Be the best you that you can be today. If we are together as a team, we can sail through the storm. I don't know what tomorrow will bring. No one does. But I know that together we can make a difference. Together we can come out of this. Together we can make the magic happen. Well, why do you say that? Because I've seen you make the magic happen. You started in 2013 with a school division with none of its schools fully accredited, and you took leadership. And you said, I'm going to turn around my school, my division. And in 4 years, you did that. That was leadership, not just from the superintendent and the principals. That was leadership on the part of the teachers, the bus drivers, cafeteria workers, the custodians. We all had a place in the leadership to get to where we were and where we are. So I know that the magic is there. And I'm just asking that you tap into that source that's inside. And you give to these babies, our students that are coming to us in a virtual format, give to them everything that you have. They need you, and they need you right now. Together, let's sail through the storm as one team. I thank you now for all that you do. I thank you for all that you will do. We are trying our best to get through this as best as we can. The perfect plan is for all of our students to be back in school, sitting before you, and the pandemic to be over. No COVID-19, no social unrest, none of that. But that's not how life works. And so we've been given a basket full of lemons. Let us take these lemons and make lemonade out of them. I know you can. I know it's in you. I believe in you as leaders. And there is leadership in a time of storm. Thank you for all that you do. Have a great year. Have a great year. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Jarrett. Leadership in the time of the storm. Yes, that's what Sussex County Public Schools will do. We will be leaders, and we will serve our community. We will meet each and everything that needs to be done in order to service our students. When the untapped potential of a student meets the liberating art of a teacher, a miracle unfolds. And that's what we are going to do. We are going to meet that student's needs, and we will surpass everything and everyone around us. Every school division has its own focus, and we have ours as well. We will do this together.